Hey guys, welcome to another episode of A to Z. You guys, say you guys twice because I just really want you to see. Now I feel rude because I just burped in your face, and that's not how I should be. That's a really bad host. But speaking of host, welcome. My name is Zero Rinson. I'll be your resident Yang, and my guy to your right bottom is my guy, Aaron Chase. He'll be your resident Yin. Usually they do those in the other order, yin and yang, but I like to start with myself because I'm selfish. So today, I should probably explain what we are. I Yang is the positive, optimist, rainbow colored
I thought it was
glasses. These,
reversed.
no, Yang is me.
Huh.
Yin is you. The
Huh.
way my brain remembers it is yin is sin and sin is bad.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Is like we have similar mindsets, but from vastly different sides. Well, actually, our mindsets are different. Essentially, I come from the world of super positive, and Aaron comes from the world of pretty pessimistic and realistic. And so, because of our life experiences, but our core seems to be very, very similar. Like whatever we are deep, deep underneath what the world did to us is very much the same. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm in a 5'8" body that looks like this, and he's in a six, what are you, 6'1",
Two.
6'2" body that looks like that, then we'd probably be very much the same if our experiences weren't what they were. But today we're talking about something else. Really don't know what this episode is coming directly off the last episode that got kind of heavy there for a second. But it is what it is. That's the beauty of this podcast. It's whatever is coming to mind at the time.
I have a question, Zero.
Okay,
Why don't you just like join the buddy system?
because it's okay. The he got me trapped in a corner. This is why he got me on the second episode. He's trying to pressure me in front of people. No, essentially it's the same reason that like I also that whole talk that I had. If you saw last episode, my whole thing about like the labels and stuff, and not that I think you guys are trying to control or do anything. I know you guys are very free and like let you do whatever creative things you guys want to do. I just I have what I want to do, and I'd rather do it alone and then pull everybody up who've helped me along the way than be like a part of it. I'm not a collective type person. And the same, you know how like you started and like we're come up together as a group and that'll help everybody, but like that didn't really go, and so you were like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing. I do my own thing, and like I help others. Like I'm again more than happy to be a part of anything or like help when you need it and like tag in. But like for me, it's like my visions are my vision, and like I let in input when I really really like it. But like in general, I have a lot of ideas, and then sometimes those ideas are very like one track focused. Like you know how when we were working on the EP, like when I'm working on music, I'm focused on music. When I'm working on comedy, I'm focused on comedy. When I'm working on editing, I'm focused on editing. And like I feel like that would slow down other people. A lot of it is like my to them and them to me. I don't want to hold people back, but I also don't want to be held back.
When I check clarify, because I think maybe we'll see what happens here. Maybe a business transaction might happen,
All
but
right. I like money.
but I don't think the buddy system's gonna be the same thing anymore. It's not.
Hmm.
We're all fucking coming. It's like you as an individual are under the umbrella. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. And but it's like Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang Clan is Wu-Tang Clan, but Method Man makes his own albums and Ghostface Killer
Right.
makes his own shit. Like that's the logic I'm working under now, rather than Brockhampton, where we're
Yeah.
all like I don't give a fuck what other people are doing. Whatever, do your own thing, but it's under the umbrella of this gang. That's all, and it brings everyone's eyes come to everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's a very selfish thing of me, but like, and I do want to help, and absolutely, if I have my way and I get on, there's no way that I wouldn't reach the hand out to you guys after everything you've done for me and had me on. But it's also that thing of like, I'm not into group projects. I'm not into like being under a thing. Like I like being my own thing, and then like Like you know how Kevin pretty much interacts with all of his socials and any company he does, where it's like it's Kevin Hart, it's the Heartbeat Productions along with this thing,
Right,
so it
right.
can its own thing. That's pretty much how I function. Is like absolutely, I'm down to be a partner, but like being under the umbrella of something is like it starts to get very like
I, I
I don't want to.
I understand, and I will cry as soon as this podcast ends.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You got your own thing that's doing so much better. like it, like by the time I'm, and that's the thing. I very much recognize that in being this way, that I am holding myself back. It's something I've gone with my family and other friends. It's just like I've literally my whole life, and I don't know where it comes from. I could do some self searching and figure that out. But like, there's something about getting help that has always bothered me. Not when other people need it. Like I don't care what other people do, but personally, I don't. This has come up with a friend of mine. I don't like being a bother in that way. And I know everybody has always ever told me I'm not a bother, and I know that deep in my soul, but there's a part of me that's like I know that in helping me there is something you're doing. You could have given that spot to somebody else, you could have done this or done that, and I'm very much like cream rises. If I'm good enough on my merits, not on the fact that we're cool. If I'm good enough, then I will make it, not because my family had connections, but because I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. Does that make the journey way harder than it has to be? Absolutely. Am I using square rocks for the wheels on my cart when everybody else has a car that they're using? For sure. It took me forever to let myself start using ads, like actually being like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pay for the break in to like people's feeds. But like now that it has, it's been coming up slowly but surely. It's why
Wait. What the fuck did you do? You did what? What should I do? Because I'm going to copy that. That sounds important. What is that?
It's marketing. So yeah, the short and sweet of it is, you can pay Google, like Google Ads. You can pay Google to make your ads. Like you know how you watch a YouTube video and every couple of seconds there's like an ad.
Yeah.
Like you can pay them to make that you
Huh.
in your. You can make it in your area. You can make it across America. You can do it across the globe. Now, to be fair, I'm trying to remember you can set it to be whatever you want, but I think the pay is like 5 cents per view. Like every time somebody, but like they only count it as a view if they've watched 30 seconds of your video. So like they have to get to 30 seconds before they go, that person watched your video, you owe us 5 cents. So it's like it is definitely a cost thing. Like for I'll give you a generalization from a video that I've been pushing. Right now I've been pushing Husbando, the music video that I put out. And I've been going like essentially the way that it's set is I have it currently set to $22 a day. Like the max of a day is $22. So it will not spend more than $22. So the max amount of views I can get is whatever $22 would get me in that day. Then it goes until I pause it, until I set it. Now you can set it to be a campaign that runs a certain amount of time. All this stuff is not important. You can figure this out as you're doing it, and they explain it very easily because Google's really good at dumbing it down. The long and short of it is,
no, you're frozen. Yep.
the long and short of it is, it's the marketing. So where you're putting yourself out in the street and like doing the one-on-one, I'm doing like the mass of the internet. But what most people will skip me, but the few people that have decided to watch me now have that, and it happens pretty constantly. And it's just another form of marketing. It's like how you would make a poster for a show coming up. It's letting people know that that thing is coming up, and it's that's the thing. It's crazy, surprisingly cheap. Now that does stack up over time. Like you're gonna look back and be like, "Whoa, I spent that much money on ads," but like what it's giving you is worth what you're paying. Is something I had to come to the conclusion of. Now, I do understand on some level there's the artist in me at least that had a problem that was like, if I'm good, then cream rises. I don't need to do that because like everybody I've seen on YouTube who's popped off or anybody who's popped off anywhere, they've popped off because of word of mouth. If they like it, then they'll tell their friends, friends tell friends, and then they just subscribe and follow from that chain of events. Like that's how you get people. But
You know
I
what?
forgot. Go ahead.
You know what I'm shocked by?
What?
I haven't gone viral in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I'm-
is weird for like
That's shocking.
It's well, here's the thing. You have, and this is just my idea, like why it hasn't. It's because you're not shareable as far as like as more than the one-on-one. So like when people come to watch your thing, they'll record you and they'll put your at and they'll be like, support this comedian. But that's only as far as it'll go for them because the video that they're showing usually is like you kind of moved and or like
Oh.
ha. It's like nothing like anybody from an outside person. Like imagine you saw a video of some guy and it was like this stand-up comedian is here. Like hey, you should support this guy, but like you don't see anything, like you don't get any evidence of what I'm supporting.
That makes
It's like-
sense. That makes sense.
it's like-
What?
Okay, I was just gonna say it's the reason why generically titled videos usually go viral way better than like actually titled videos. Like a video called like Zero Rimson does ice bucket challenge doesn't sell as good as Black kid freezes almost to death
Yeah.
doing ice bucket challenge exclamation point. Like you kind of do a little bit of like spicing it up. Something about making it generic makes it more shareable. But go ahead, sorry.
What I'm surprised by, and I know what you're saying there, that makes a lot of sense. What I'm surprised by is I've been doing it consistently for about a year, I think was what we said in the last episode. And when people drive by, they videotape me, whether they like me or not. When people walk by, they videotape me. And it's just such a strange thing that I'm doing
Yeah.
that I'm surprised that more people aren't like, oh, this is interesting. I'm just surprised by that, but it's fine. I'll keep doing me. It's just
Yeah,
interesting.
it's because you're not. It's because you're not like a phenomenon. You're like an. I mean, it's the equivalent. It's the difference between like an event that people can be a part of or like experience and see, and like there's no shade towards you, and like there's a specific homeless man who dresses up like a peacock, like hey, that's Peacock Man, and that's like a thing that people know individually, but they don't go like, yeah, Peacock Man, yeah, like oh, share the memes of Peacock Man. It's like, remember that Peacock Man bit? It's like, no, it's like, no, like that's as far as it goes. It's like, oh yeah, I saw Peacock Man. Oh, that's weird. Like that's as far as the thing is.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm glad I'm Peacock, man.
Yeah, and that's definitely a lane, and it's like a good lane to be in. I think any eyes on you ever. And again, it is spreading clearly, and people are coming back. So I think it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Again, there's also that illusion of like virality is the only way to pop off. And
Yeah.
I think I'm not really talking to you at this point. This is kind of like to the general audience. This idea that like the only way to get pop off now is like from the internet, and it's like, no, you can do the same thing person to person. It just spreads a little slower. It's gonna get there because people abuse the internet, and eventually you will get on. Like I'm interested in something. You go ahead and talk. I'm gonna check something real quick.
All right. Well, while you check that, whatever you're checking, this is definitely a carryover from the last episode, but I'm mostly just trying to be positive about this stuff and excited. Like it's cool to be writing material again because my mentality of how I write and how I come up with stuff has changed. It's not as painful to write anymore because I'm using the imagination thing. I made a new trigger So like, I don't know if you remember my worry about yourself thing,
Oh, yeah.
and this shit, wake up. So I made a new trigger. It's 2 snaps for use your
Man,
imagination.
you are building a real OCD thing there. The
Yeah,
amount of things that you have is gonna be like I feel like I'm gonna see you in like 2 more years, and you're like, all right, it's almost time to go on stage. I am here, and I'm gonna be like, okay. Everybody's gonna be like, all right, that's Aaron's thing.
I stopped doing this. I don't need to do this anymore. This came back because the world got crazy again.
That is true.
So I think. Did you hear that?
Yeah. What was that?
I have roommates.
Oh, fun. I have those too.
Yeah.
Are yours married?
What?
Are yours married and have several animals?
No, mine are girls, and I'm the one with the animal.
Nice.
Yeah. By girls, I mean adult women, by the way.
Come and knock on our door.
Yeah, right.
Waiting for you.
Dude, I've actually gotten way past the whole getting bitches phase in my life.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, like
I'm still smack dab in the side. I'm in the tail end of it, but like I'm not done yet. I'm very much still in it, but at the same time I'm not dying about it the way I used to be.
what are you looking up, by the way?
You'll see.
All right, that's concerning.
I mean, you won't see. I'll tell you. I'm Googling you. You're getting Googled.
Oh, interesting. All right, well, while you're doing that,
I'm just interested to see if anybody's
gives a
like you
fuck.
like if any it was KVCR News, local comedian turned street comedy into activism. Did you do an article?
That was NPR.
Okay. Yeah, Newsbreak. Finding the Funny. That's Stephanie. Buddy System. That's a Facebook page. Buddy System. Okay.
So no one
Okay.
gives a fuck.
Well, as far as that goes, maybe. Hold on. Actually, I got to check one more thing. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm gonna go a little deeper down this rabbit hole.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, yeah, I think I'm past the whole getting bitches point in my life, which is really nice.
I mean, you're telling me.
Yeah. I just don't.
Wait to sing.
I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I can't. I don't have the energy for it. I don't care. It's a weird feeling. Like,
Okay. Well, how does your drive work? Like, where are you slipping into like asexual? Like, are you just like chilling? Do you still handle your business every once and again?
I'll tell you off
Like,
the podcast.
what do you do with the what? You're gonna hold that for the pie? You're not gonna tell that to the audience?
I'm
That
really
seems like
not.
a real whack cop out.
I'm really not.
You can tell all your deep dark traumas, but you're not gonna talk about your masturbation habits. I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
I'll put out mine.
You'll see when I message you on WhatsApp afterwards. You'll see
Come
why.
on.
I'm serious.
Come on.
I think I've earned the right to be like, no, this is my personal business. I think I've earned.
Yeah, listen, you do, and I'm usually not a pressure person, but it's weird for this to be your line.
You'll see
Okay.
when I message you. You'll
Okay.
understand why.
It better be good. All I'm saying is, it better be a good gosh dang reason. If it's a freaking kink, I'm gonna be mad.
No, I'm zero. This is my moment. I'm coming out. I'm actually gay.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that like you would need to hide. I get maybe from your female fan base. I don't know if they're there for the comp.
No, I'll tell you about it in WhatsApp because you'll understand why I'm doing that. Trust me, you'll understand why.
Does it have anything to do with relationships?
No.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, man.
What did he congrats? What did he said? Congrats on something. What did he congratulate you?
I think congrats on getting past bitches. Just
Oh,
not having
hey,
the energy.
again, I don't know how you do. Now, to be fair, I'm a thirsty dude, and I'm not really good at it, so that's probably a part. It's like you want what you can't have, and I feel like any dude that like gets relatively good at it is like they're the ones who are like, I'm cool because like it's not hard.
Oh, he said on coming out.
He said, congrats on coming out.
Yeah.
That's
No, I think part of it is I sowed my oats. I did my 20s.
yeah. I did I'm like, again, that's why I'm on the tail end. I'm like halfway through my 20s. Again, girlfriend is definitely in the cards. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm not like over the fun part. Like any more of those exploits would be fun. But that's what's weird about me and exploits is like it gets very like muddy because like abstinence. So it's like I want to do stuff, but only so much.
I have a question.
I know where this is going. I think you remembered a thing. Oh, you didn't remember a thing. Okay, never mind then.
I'll ask it later. All right. What were you saying?
What? Come on, you gotta stop copping out on the audience. The audience is gonna get mad. They're gonna watch this episode and be like, Aaron Keeps.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this. I have a whole bit on it. Yeah, I keep my B card. I keep that thing tucked.
Okay, I have questions about that, but before that, what else did you Google?
I just took out the comedian part to see if like there were any other Aaron Chases.
Oh, there's a motocross guy.
Like, yeah, the motocross guy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Well, you got some competition.
That's fine. What do you think a vagina feels like?
Oh, man. I imagine like a mouth. But
like a mouth?
Yeah, like a mouth without a tongue. Like if you had a mouth with no teeth, but like you took the walls of a mouth and you put like so not like the lips, like the inside of your mouth. If you took like all of the inside of your mouth and you like made it like this.
This is some serial killer shit, is what you're describing. Just hacking up women's faces.
Well, listen, I don't think there is a proper way to describe it as a virgin without it sounding absolutely scary. Like, I imagine it feels like rainbows and kittens on you. Like I imagine that it's like I imagine from what everybody said that it's like a combination of soft and wet and like squishy, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It's funny, like in the headspace that I'm at now, the way you described it is exactly how I feel about it, which is like, oh, that's fine. And then I go do other shit.
I thought you were about to say, oh, that's gross. I'm good.
Yeah, well, it's that's fun. That's so interesting. So, are you waiting to be married?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. This will be fun. You know how I think your bullshit positivity has rubbed off enough on me.
Yeah.
How did you?
You know what's crazy? I still have not listened to that song as a whole.
Have you seen the music video?
I have not seen the music video.
Oh.
Is it better than Twerk?
I don't think I've seen Twerk.
You haven't seen Twerk?
All right.
It's exactly what you think it is.
I'll watch Twerk. You watch WAP.
I'll watch WAP. Okay. All right. I'm not a fan of the song. Like
that's fine. I like Ben Shapiro's take on it.
Everybody likes Ben Shapiro's take on it.
But okay, I think your positivity stuff has affected me in a good way.
Okay.
I think every now and again it's good for my realism to affect you.
That is true.
So here's what I'm going to bring up here. Speaking as a man who's signed leases, who's been in long-term relationships like that.
Uh-oh.
being sexually compatible is important, and you don't know if you're sexually compatible until you have sex.
Uh-huh.
So do you have? Ooh, you've heard this before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Woo!
This is classic. This is classic guy argument. Whenever I bring it up, and it's like there are three. It's
Okay.
one. How could you not? What's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean? You need to. Like, just as a person, you have that urge for a reason, and you have to, not even indulge. Like, to them, it's like, I have to because I have the feeling, and the only way to get the feeling out is to do the thing, so I do the thing. And that's, like, that level of, like, just not really self-control.
I disagree with that because, okay, my argument's going to purely stem from your own happiness and long-term success in a relationship. Like, that mentality is very, like, you're a caveman and you need to go beat rocks with sticks. And, like, all right.
Right.
My logic isn't, and first off, I don't give a fuck what you do. It's whatever.
I know.
Okay. But it's like, knowing the experience of not being sexually compatible with somebody, but not understanding that is hellish. So I wonder, so what is your argument to the sexual compatibility?
Compatibility. I love a good I'm so compatible with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
but yeah, my main argument is just, I get it. Like, it's, I don't think you have to have in full-on sex to understand chemistry. I think when you're doing stuff and you're hooking up in a certain capacity, there is and that's why I needed to go sow my oats. That's why I needed to go through the couple. I think it's very important that everybody have a period of their life where they kind of get around and realize, like, what they do and don't like. Because if you don't do that, then exactly what you said, you just lock into somebody that, like, yeah, you can care about them a lot, but, like, if you guys don't click like that, it is gonna be rough. Like, I was with a girl for a little bit who, like, we didn't have chemistry. Like, we did stuff. It was fun, but it definitely wasn't that, like that. And it, like, was a mutual. It's like one of many reasons besides just our personalities aren't like that. But, like, in general, I understand it, and I don't disagree with the part that's like, yes, you should know you have chemistry or not physically. I don't think you have to do full intercourse to know if you have chemistry or not. I think that you mess around and you feel a certain thing, then, like, like, when you know. It's not, again, because it's such a primal thing that it's like, I don't have to think about it. I just will know when a girl's happening for me.
I will give that to you because I respect the acknowledgement of, like, you need to do something. Right. You need some sort of,
Like, unless, again, and that's where asexual people very much fascinate me. Like, just in the way of, like, it's such a different way of viewing sexuality. Yeah. Of, like, it's just, like, not a part of it. And, like, but you still love your partner and you still will do it with them sometimes, or you still get urges to a certain extent. Or as far as I understand, again, I haven't had a full conversation with them and I haven't done too much research, so take this all with a grain of salt. Yeah. But it's very fascinating to me that, like, to completely remove it as a whole, that would be like, like, that's why, like, there's a vision of people who get there for, like, and this is where I think we actually, it's that thing where our core is very much similar. Yeah. Where, like, I don't know how you feel about high school relationships that go on to be that forever. That, like, that, yeah, exactly. I'm like, when I was young, I was like, that's beautiful. Like, that's what, like, you found your one.
Teach you that dumb shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one shot, one kill. And I'm like, that's so nice. You just know. But you don't know.
You can.
Like, you don't know.
When you're in high school, like, the way I try to describe it is, imagine you decided for the rest of your life you're gonna dress the same way you did in high school.
Right.
It's like you have to grow and change.
Yeah.
There's just and I acknowledge that, you know, it's possible. It is possible to
Right.
meet somebody in high, you
There's
know.
always possibility. I just feel like I respect that more when there was. It's this is gonna really science up the romance, but like it's like I respect that more when the theory's been tested against other like hypotheses. So like if your control group is the person you met in high school, I think you guys need to take a break and see what else is out there. And if you come back to them and go, no, you were the thing, I respect that.
Yeah.
Like that, I
Yeah.
can give you as love. But the thing where it's like, I chose you and we just didn't stop doing this. We just didn't stop doing it. Which again, is where I get into a whole rant about my bit that I'm working on, which is a whole. Again, I don't know how you build bits, but sometimes I have bits that are just rants that I turn into bits later.
Yo, let's discuss that because my writing process has changed completely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
essentially, there are 2 or 3 ways that jokes happen above me. And I know I went over the brief overview on the Buddy System podcast that you and George did, like
Yeah.
my writing process. But like how the jokes come to me is like one of 3 ways. One, life experience, something happens to me. It's just the story, and I'm just retelling you the story with little added things to help you be in my brain during the story and see why it's funny. 2, silly, funny thing that I thought of. I saw a thing. Here's a funny take on that thing. That's what it is. It's nothing deeper than that. I just thought it was funny to think of this like this. I don't have anything I need to say or do or any of that stuff. Then there's things where I have a point to make. And those are my hardest bits to make, but they are ones that mean the most to me and that when I finish making them funny, I'm the most proud of. Because they start off as just rants. And I make this joke with my friend. I have friends, Dro and this girl who was the girl that I was dating at one point. She's one of my best friends now. We talk and I'll talk to them about like the bits. And sometimes I'm doing the bit and the joke that I have with her is like, I'll make it funny later. Like it's just a rant. Like I'm like, hey, like I'll get through the bit and I'm like, and that's the joke. I'll make it funny later. Because like it's just me saying my thoughts of like, this is why this is stupid and I don't like this. And what do you mean this? And so to loop that back into what we're saying, one of those bits that I'm currently working on is this idea that like you that a lot of people are misusing the term love. To me, what I consider love is not what most people are doing. What most people are doing is like, I found somebody who will put up with me and I will lock into that forever because it's hard and scary to be alone. I get really sad when I'm alone. I don't have peace in myself. I'm scared. And honestly, I like really, really, really don't know who I am, have my self-worth drops. Everything about me is based in having that part of me handled. So if I don't handle it, that's concerning. Like I could go down like, it's going to be depressed. I'm going to get depressed. So I have a person to fill that part of me so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do any deep searching because this person likes me. They're putting up with me so I don't have to figure out what's wrong with me because they've accepted me for what this is. And then it's just like, literally, to me, from what I've seen in my 27 years of experience, and to be fair, this isn't a catch-all. There are several people that break up for actual reasons, but most of the time, people break up for one reason. Aaron, what is the one reason that most people break up?
Money.
Oh, no.
What's the one reason, Zero?
The one reason that people break up is because somebody cheated on somebody else.
Yeah.
That is, and even that sometimes is not enough. Like, it's insane to me how many people are like,
Oh, zero?
I just want
Before you
somebody.
keep going, I can already tell you're going to go. That's what I would say. Have said money. Hey, oh, it's good to. Hey,
I would have said money.
I saw that you sent me a message by the. Well, I'll message you after I'm done with the podcast. Before you keep going, because you're going down this caravan of thought.
Good, I say good. Cut me off right there, because I'll go in, because that's bread and butter. Like yours is like kind of dealing with the race stuff. Mine is relationship, people dynamics. Freaking. Ooh.
But the writing process my writing process used to be a thought or a belief or opinion or whatever, and then how do I describe that thought or belief or opinion using the format of setups and punchlines in the format that I've shown you and everybody else in the IE community many times. And I was looking at it. Do you know how you did the pickup artistry bullshit? You know how the iMovie work?
Yes.
Okay, so I was doing auditory. I was doing I was doing side when I came to writing, and now because of what KJ said of imagination and all of this riffing I've been doing, now my process is a belief or whatever my feelings are, and then I do visual or I do kinesthetic or emotional, and I think about I just describe what I visualize. And because I've created this foundation of like how a setup and punchline works, I know that in my core now. I can play with that visually and with my imagination. And I've been slowly writing bits through doing that, or just jokes doing that. So it's grown, and it's way more fun to write that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, again, when you mentioned the imagination part, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When it came, like, seeing your comedy style, what it used to be, and like what I was describing of like your old stuff, where it's like I could see the logic happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's the antithesis of like, the weird part about comedy is that it is a fusion of the two. It is logic meets illogic. It is a like fun meets science, because you're kind of faking the funk. You're putting on a show of like, I didn't prepare this fun, and it's naturally fun. This is naturally fun and funny, and that's just what it is, even though you meticulously plan and you say the words the way you're supposed to say the words in the order you say them. But you've tested that theory against multiple audiences. But like, it is that's like finding the dumb in it, the turning off of your brain within the turning on of your brain.
Yeah.
And so like that's why my stuff, and that's something I need to work on, and I talked about this on you guys' thing too, is like being able to flip that switch. It doesn't happen when I want it to. It just happens on its own.
Right.
Like when in a mode, when it hits me in like constant waves, and I'm in a funny place. And then I'm like, oh, I could write forever. But like when it's off, I just gotta let it sit. I can't jumpstart.
That's what street stand-up has helped me so much with, deciding I'm going to be funny. Deciding it. I remember, I don't know if I told you about this. I did an open mic in LA. I carpooled with KJ and Jonathan. And this was a while, I can't remember how, this was a while ago. And we were driving on the way back, and I can't remember how the conversation started, but we were listening to KJ talk, and it was trippy, man. He fucking just flipped a switch and decided to be funny. And then he turned it off. It was like a faucet. I'd never seen anything like that. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. I need to be able to do that. And I'm not there as smooth. It's still clunky. It's like when you're learning how to drive stick and you're grinding the gears and you're not doing the clutch right or whatever. Like I'm still, I can make the car move, and but it's like I just got to smooth it out, and that's feeling exciting. And I think street stand up has helped with that.
Yeah, that's bueno. Mine's is I would say my turning on my funny is a process of how do I put it? You ever, man, I'm trying to, like, it's weird to describe. There's like you ever play a video game where like you have to press the A button really fast and it like builds up a meter, and if you stop pressing the A button, the meter will go back down. it's like that with people interaction. So like if I'm in an interaction with people and like we're vibing and it's going back and forth, the meter builds up. But if I stop being funny, then it'll start to go down and it'll like go down, and then eventually it'll hit zero, and then I'm just kind of. And I mean, I'm always sitting on like, if a full bar is 100% in my daily walk, I'm sitting at about 45. Like I'm usually a pretty jokey, silly dude person in general, just with myself, because only child, gotta entertain myself. I think I'm funny. I like my goofiness. Sometimes people jump onto it, sometimes people don't. That's like 45. But then I like kick into my hundreds when like again, that classic thing of like when the audience is vibing back with me, it's like on. When I'm talking to some girl and she's vibing, on. When I'm in a group of friends and we're all bouncing off of each other, or even me and one friend and we're just riffing a stupid bit that like goes up and up and up, then like bomb. But if any of those things aren't, that's the thing, is like I require a reaction.
Right.
I require something to get the train started.
I
like
get you.
Trying to keep the train going on my own. I can do it when I'm in my house by myself in my room, but like as far as like doing it with others, that's like a totally separate thing. Like me making myself happy, I can do by myself, but it doesn't transfer into making other people happy. That's a totally separate bar.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was listening to a clip with Dane Cook and fucking Redneck. Yeah, there's a lot
you
of those.
might be a redneck if
No. Actually, talented Redneck.
Larry the Cable Guy.
No. No. Fucking. I think he's got mullet thing going on.
Smoke?
No, he's an alcoholic. He's sober now. Fuck, what is his name? He's on the
not Swiss Black.
No, white guy. He runs in the same crowd with Rogan and those guys.
I got nothing.
Fuck.
I got nothing.
Theo Vaughn.
Oh.
Theo Vaughn. You look grossed out.
No, I just like really forgot about him, and then it came back to me. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Well, he was I saw this clip with him and Dane Cook, and Dane Cook was talking about how like once he figured out comedy in a big way, it feels like having a superpower.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh, I can like turn this on. Like it's really hard to explain when you have control, when you have real control over deciding it. And it's
I felt that same way with, again, the pickup stuff, like approaching people and being able to start a conversation from nothing is such a unique, like it's so nobody does that or can do that, or so few people can, that you do feel this like whoa. And like it's not only that you feel it, but it's that other people feel it. And it's not even, and it goes so deep that it's like, you don't even have to be actively using your power, as it were, but people can feel that off you. Like when again, back when the world was normal, and then I would have like a friend, like a regular come out with me to the club, and I love the club, and so I'm out a lot. I socialize a lot. And then they'd be like, oh man, girls in here, cute and all this stuff. I'm like, we should, do you want to talk to them? And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, you go and talk to them. And they're like, what? And then I would just walk up to a group and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. This is my friend so-and-so. And he'd be like, how did you do that? I'm like, you talk. You do the talking thing. But like to them, it's like then it's the same thing with being funny. It's like when you can like control it or like kind of pivot in and out of it, like people and I think, again, we're getting kind of into more meta thoughts, is like, I really think it's a symptom of a bigger problem we have going on as a society and as like people, that those skills are special and crazy is really sad.
Yeah.
Because like there's skills that I feel like we all need. I think you need to be able to make yourself and others laugh. I think you need to be able to initiate a conversation with somebody you want to talk to. I think you need like and I don't know how to make this point or like where they would fit it in to the schedule of schools, but I do think it's important that like we learn how to communicate with each other better. And
Yeah.
I think kids should be taught how to do those things. That you should be, but like obviously that's not something that we can really see in any foreseeable future soon. But
Yeah.
like it's something that I think is very important.
Also, Zero, I'm gonna have to go. So
That's
do you want
fine.
to wrap? You good to wrap? Because we're at 47:20.
4720, that's like a 17-minute episode, I think.
17
Or are you
minutes
saying, wait, is it counting down or up?
up.
Oh, okay, then we've been going 47. Oh, yeah, then that's perfect. Yeah, okay, then we can call it. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Kristen, I'm gonna message you at the end of this.
Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out to another episode of A to Z. Especially those of you who went from the episode that we just had to this one, like listening to us talk for a good couple hour half now. We appreciate you. I've been Zero Rimson. You can find me at @0_KR anime on Instagram. That's Aaron Chase. You can find them at Aaron Chase91 on Instagram. You can also listen to the ACMM podcast on the Buddy System Comedy page on YouTube. That's also where this podcast is, the A to Z podcast. You can watch all of our past episodes on there. We upload weekly. You can find me and my stuff by searching Zero Rimson on Google. I'm one of the only ones. You can find Aaron exactly the way that I've said before. And that's all of the plugs that I can think of. So thank you for watching us, and laters.
Say,